What is going on, guys? Stefan here with you, S&E's Garage. In today's video, we are going to be servicing the transmission on our new to us 2006 Lexus IS 350. So this IS 350 has about 154,000 miles on it, and the transmission was last serviced by a Lexus dealer at around 100,000 miles, and all they did was a drain and fill. And supposedly when you drain and fill these, you only get about 2 quarts out of them. So it really wasn't that much of a service considering that these things hold like 11 quarts. So what we went ahead and did is we bought 4 quarts of Toyota WS trans fluid. We purchased our crush washers. We purchased our fluid strainer in here, the O-ring for the strainer, and then we purchased a pan gasket. And we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna drop the pan, we're gonna clean the magnets, we're gonna drain as much fluid out of it as we can, and then we're gonna fill it up with these 4 quarts. From the reading I've done, this should be just enough fluid. If for some reason it's not, I'm kind of screwed. I'll have to run out to Lexus tomorrow and pick up more, but I think we'll be good here. So the part numbers you're gonna need, the pan gasket is 35168-60010. Okay. The strainer itself is 35330-50020. Okay, and then the O-ring for the strainer here is going to be 90310-31014. And then we have our 2 little gaskets here. Let me see if I could find their part numbers. Gasket. Don't know what they are, but you're going to need 2 crush washers too for the drain plug. So let's go ahead. Let's get it up in the air. Let's show you where everything is and let's get situated. So you're going to need a couple of things to do this service. Number 1, you're going to need a shallow 24 millimeter socket here. That is to get to the fill plug. And then you're also going to need some sort of a pumping device here. We have one of these guys to go ahead and pump the WS trans fluid into the transmission. So our fill plug is going to be up here behind this plastic cover. There's going to be 2 10 millimeters. There's one here and one here. So let's go ahead, remove them. Let's get that out and open up our fill plug. That way we know we can fill the transmission up. You do not want to drain this unless you know beyond a shadow of a doubt that you can fill it. So let's get that out. And then we have 2 plugs on the pan here. You're gonna have your drain plug and your overflow. Your overflow is going to be used to set the fluid level. The drain plug is strictly to drain. So this is gonna be the first thing we're opening, and we're gonna let this pan drain. I am going to drain it into, I'm not gonna drain it into that because I wanna measure what we take out of it. So I'm just gonna drain it into this guy here, and then we'll put that fluid into an empty bottle here, because like I said, I'm finding conflicting information on what is going to come out of this. I'll put something up on the screen right here, right out of the Toyota service manual. But I've been told that it is incorrect, so I want to put exactly what we drain out of it into the video so you guys know for yourselves. All right, let's go ahead and get this cover out of our way. I'm just using a 10 millimeter ratcheting wrench, and then they should come out by hand. Now I did try to purchase the O-ring to replace on this fill plug, but it's supposedly on intergalactic back order, so I was unable to do that. But if for some reason you can replace yours, if the dealer has it, I would. But let's get this cover out of the way. All right. Beautiful. And let's go ahead and remove that fill plug. Okay, like we said, we're gonna use our shallow 24 mil. I'll leave one of these in the video description below. I don't know if you guys hear that. There's actually coyotes in my backyard right now howling like crazy. It's kind of spooky being out here. But here's the fill plug. Fluid does not smell burned at all, which is a good sign. But let's go ahead now and get our drain set up. And the drain plug is just going to simply be a 14 millimeter. And that was actually not on tight at all. The fluid's pretty dark, but it does not smell burnt in any way. So it's probably a good idea to be doing this right now. You can see when I put my finger in there, it's, like I said, it's a little dark, but that's why we're doing it. Let's just go ahead and let that drain off camera. And once it's done draining, we're gonna screw that back in with a new crush washer, and we can then go ahead and remove the pan. All right, we are down to a trickle here. So now let's just go ahead and reinstall this. This is not going to have to be removed again, so we can tighten that up. You don't have to kill it, you're just gonna snug it. You just wanna bottom out that crush washer. You'll feel it. That's good. Okay, and we're gonna wipe this down. So now we're gonna go ahead, we're just gonna go around this transmission and remove all of the 10 millimeter bolts that are holding the pan on, and we're gonna remove the pan. So unfortunately for us, we did have one bolt break. That is going to be this one here. So I am gonna have to try to drill that out and remove it with an easy out, but that's besides the point. So what we have now is we have one bolt very lightly in here and one on the other side. And we're just gonna go ahead and try to pry the pan down like so. And those bolts should have just done what ours did and prevent the pan from completely falling and making a huge mess. So now I can go ahead and remove this bolt here. Okay, and slowly drop this pan and remove the rest of the fluid. And we're just gonna go ahead and let this drip dry. Let's go ahead and take this pan over to the parts washer and clean it out. Okay guys, so let's celebrate a small victory here. We were able to get our hole here drilled out, and I was able to tap it with an M6x1 bolt thread, and you'll see it threads right in. So crisis averted. And I did just happen to have a Hyundai oil pan bolt laying around from one of the many Hyundais that I've built in my day. So happens to be the same thread pitch. So all is good, crisis averted. Let's go over to that pan. Again, we're gonna take it apart, take the magnets out, clean the magnets, clean everything up. And then let's set up our new gasket, and we'll go ahead and drop the strainer. So what we're doing now is we just have our pan here in the parts washer, and we're just going to use a brush here, and we want to agitate this real nice, and we just want to clean this pan as best we can. And then we're going to go ahead and pull the magnets and clean that as well. While we're in here, let's just go ahead and remove this transmission pan gasket, because it has obviously seen better days with how hard and brittle it is. But we're just going to clean this up as best we can here. Okay, let's go throw this out, and now I'm just off camera. Again, I'm just gonna go ahead, finish cleaning this up. All right, guys, now that we got our pan nice and clean, let's go ahead and remove the strainer. It's going to be a series of 10 millimeter bolts, 4 of them to be exact. Let's not have any more broken bolts here, so gonna go nice and easy. Okay, Now we can go ahead and pull the strainer down. And let it drain the rest of the way. Now you are going to want to stick your fingers up in this hole and pull the old O-ring out. You do not want that to get stuck in the trans, because if it does and you put a second O-ring in, you're going to have a problem. So let's just let this drip dry again, and then we'll get our new strainer up. All right guys, we have our new strainer here. I'm just going to take a little bit of trans fluid here from the trans, and I'm going to lube up. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here. I'm just lubing up this O-ring with some transmission fluid. That way, when we go to slide this up, you're gonna feel like a nice little pop. Like so. And then you can go ahead and install your nuts or your bolts, and we're gonna torque them down to 7 foot-pounds. All right guys, so our new strainer is in. We torqued all 4 of them to 7 foot-pounds. So now we're gonna go ahead, take our transmission pan and its shiny new gasket, and we're going to go ahead and get it started. All right guys, so now we're just gonna go around this pan here, and we're gonna torque all of these bolts down to 65 inch-pounds, not foot-pounds, but inch-pounds. And we're gonna go in a crisscross pattern. And we're just compressing the gasket right now. Okay, and we're just gonna work our way around, and then we'll let you know when we're done. All right guys, so I'm not gonna bore you now, but we have our pump set up here. You can see it going up into the trans. And we're now just gonna pump 4 quarts of WS trans fluid into this transmission. We did measure what we drained, and let me just show you really quickly once I'm done pumping this bottle in. And we got exactly 4 quarts out of it. So unfortunately, all I have here is 4 quarts. So I'm gonna run out first thing in the morning, and I'm gonna grab another quart of this stuff from my local Lexus dealer, and I'm gonna put 4.5 quarts in it, and then we're gonna drain the excess out. You'll see here's my bottle, and we are right on the nose of 4 quarts. So we're gonna put the 4 quarts that we have into the transmission, and then tomorrow we will resume by putting another half quart in and doing the procedure. All right guys, so we went ahead and pumped another quart into this thing, so we got about 4.5 quarts in it, and like we showed you last night, we drained 4 quarts out of it. So we have about a half a quart more than we drained out in it, and that's what they tell you to do in the service manual. They tell you 0.4 quarts, but close enough. So what we need to do now is we need to monitor the transmission temperature. We need to get it between 102 and 120 degrees. And when we get there, we're going to, with the engine running, pull this plug and let the excess drip out. Now there's 2 different ways you can monitor the fluid temperature. You can do it with a scan tool, which is the way we are going to do it, or you can put it into fluid adjustment mode, and you're gonna rely on the gauge cluster to tell you exactly when the fluid is at the right level. I'll leave those instructions right here in the video. So if you follow those instructions, you can do this without a scan tool. We are just going to do it with a scan tool because we feel that it is a little bit more accurate. Instead of just a blinking light to tell you when to do it, I know exactly where the temperature is at. So let's go ahead, let's hop in the car. We're gonna start it up, and I'm gonna shift park, reverse, neutral, drive. And I'm gonna do that several times back and forth to make sure we get fluid through the whole valve body, because we did drain the valve body when we pulled the filter. And then we're going to go ahead and just wait for the fluid to reach temperature. Right, Maverick? All right, guys, we have our automatic transmission temperature here graphed. Right now we're at about 81 degrees. We need to get it to 102. So all I'm gonna do now is I'm going to hop in the car, and like we said, we're going to go reverse, neutral, drive. And we're just gonna do this several times to make sure that we get the fluid all the way through the valve body, and into all the passages. Okay, let's end in park. Now let's just go ahead. We're gonna lift the car back up and we're gonna wait for our temperature to be in the window. All right, we got our 5mm Allen key waiting here. Again, as soon as we hit 102, we're at 95 right now. As soon as we hit 102, we're gonna crack that open and let it adjust. All right, we are at 102. Let's go ahead. Open this bad boy up. Okay, and we're just gonna let this drain until it slows to a trickle, and we are also changing our drain plug. Now I want you to notice just how much redder this fluid looks now. I am likely going to do another drain and fill the next time I change the oil. I'm not gonna drop the pan again and change the filter and clean the magnets because we just did that, but I will dump whatever, 2-3 quarts out of this pan and fill it back up with some more fresh fluid just to get this fluid a little bit cleaner. But again, we're just gonna wait until this slows to a trickle, and we also need to keep an eye on our scan tool to make sure that we don't exceed 120 degrees. All right, I'm gonna call that good in 1 second. It just sped up again. We're getting close, we're at 110 now. Let's call that good. All right. Go ahead, snug this up. And let's just wipe it down. So the only thing left to do now is hop in, take it for a ride, and see how big of a difference some nice fresh fluid makes for your transmission. So let's go ahead and take it for a ride. So for what it's worth, we were not experiencing any transmission issues. There were no shift concerns. So I'm not really expecting too big of a difference here, but we simply did it because it was due. But everything seems good. It seems nice and happy. It's got a nice new filter in it now. It's got some nice fresh Toyota WS fluid. And like I said, next time we change the oil, we just changed it. So in another 5,000 miles, I'll probably do another drain and fill. I'll do a video on that too, just as a drain and fill, rather than doing a whole, dropping the pan service thing. That way you guys can see that there's different options as far as servicing these. But we are done. Everything here is good. The car is happy, and we can move on. So if this video helped you service your Lexus IS, whether it's a 250 or a 350, or anything else with this transmission in it, I believe it's an A760, and then the A960 is in the 250. They're very similar. A variant of this transmission is used in the Tundra with the 4.6 and the Sequoia with the 4.6. It's used in the FRS and BRZ with the automatic trim. So this video will work with a wide range of vehicles. I'll add everything in the tags, but like, share, and subscribe. Also, I'll add everything you need in the video description below from our Amazon affiliates link. So you'll be all set up to do this. So like, share, subscribe. We'll see you next time.